What's up, family? Welcome to Ask the Mods.
Where we challenge you to stop playing and start pushing.
This is my spectacular wifey, Yana.
And this is my incredible husband, Aize. All right, y'all. Today's topic is this. Friends of the opposite sex. Should there even be such a thing when it comes to a married couple? You know, what do we do with these friends of the opposite sex? How do we handle them?
We all got friends, and some of those friends happen to be of the opposite sex.
Okay.
Some of these relationships we may have established when we were in the 2nd grade, 7th grade, 12th grade. So, I mean, it might be normal to be having, friends of the opposite sex. However, if this person is a friend of yours, then they must be a friend of your spouse.
Say that one more time.
If this person is a friend of yours, then they must be a friend of your spouse. And one of the ways you can evaluate whether or not they're a friend of the relationship and a friend of your spouse is if, for instance, they only call you on your cell phone and fail or refuse to call you on the house phone because they don't want to talk to the other person. That right there is not a friend of the relationship. That's really just your friend. And are they really being a true and authentic friend if they're just focused on you? I would say no. So if they're going to be a friend of yours, they got to be a friend of your spouse's.
Right.
They have to be a friend of the relationship.
Right. And then secondly, what does the friendship look like? If you have a friend of the opposite sex and you're in a committed relationship and you're married, what does that look like? Well, it has to be different, right? When I got married, most of my male friends fell off to the wayside. And the few that stayed along, that relationship changed. So that means that what I'm talking to them about changes. The level of intimacy and, the kinds of things we're discussing definitely changes. The frequency and the amount of time that I'm talking to them changes. And how much I incorporate my husband into my language and, into the conversation. All of that changes. So what it looks like is very important. If it don't feel right, usually it ain't right. You can't get a call from your friend of the opposite sex and you go to the other room to have the conversation. Right? You can't have certain conversations with them that only the two of you know about because you know that this is the golden rule. If there is something that you are communicating with someone outside of your relationship about that you would not feel comfortable communicating with them in front of your spouse, then you shouldn't have anything to say to them at all. You shouldn't be talking about it at all in the first place. So, friends of the opposite sex, they need to be friends of both of you, and the way it looks needs to change. If it don't smell right, it usually ain't right. So, hope that's been helpful. Remember, stop playing, start pushing.
Let's go into the story about a girl named blah 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 that adore me. So we started talking, getting familiar, spending a lot of time so we can build a relationship or some understanding how it's gonna be in the future we was planning. Everything sounded so dandy.